Back with us on the conversation, the final few minutes with the Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship in Canada, Ahmed Hussen. October is a very important month.
Yes.
Elections.
Yeah.
Your party going back to the polls. You have a Prime Minister who was the poster boy of world politics not so long ago, but there have been some issues that seem to have taken some of the sheen of his I don't want to say statue, taking some sheen off him. You may not agree. The polls are not as favorable as they were several months ago. And the feeling is that Justin Trudeau is a man under pressure. I read an interview with him in the New York Times where he said, look, he accepts that people are upset about several things and that his critics have gotten critical mass behind them, but he's confident of re-election. A year ago to this day, we wouldn't be talking about the looming election in October being anything difficult. You'd be winning by a landslide. But a year is a long time in politics, Ahmed Hussen. What's happening with the party? Is it in good shape?
I'll quote my former boss, the former Premier of Ontario, Dalton McGuinty, who said during his re-election campaigns, he used to tell voters, look, don't compare me against the Almighty, compare me against my opponents. So I think when you look at the alternatives, when you look at us, we have a really great record to present to Canadians. We may not have communicated all of the aspects of that record as much as we would have liked, but I think it's an amazing record. Over 1 million jobs created, good quality full-time, almost all of them full-time jobs created in the last 3 years.
Yes.
More jobs created in the last 3 years than the last 10 years under the previous government. 825,000 people lifted out of poverty. Billions of dollars being invested in infrastructure, in housing, in transportation. And an immigration policy that is really resulting in Canada becoming the global leader in talent attraction. More investment coming into Canada than ever before, following that talent through immigration. So I think, we have a challenge, of course, but we need to reconnect with Canadians and present that record and show them the momentum that we've achieved, the lowest unemployment rate in 40 years, and tell them that we're the party that can continue that momentum. The alternative is we're going to go back to cuts and austerity and just tax breaks for the rich, nothing for working families who have done much better under us.
So from your privileged seat, Minister, the SNC Lavalin issue and the attendant charges about Justin Trudeau not being the feminist he says he was because he was asking a woman to do something that was unethical and all that. Do you think that that will resonate with people to the extent that they're not supporting? And I ask this question in the context of, in our system of government, it's not a president that you vote for directly.
You vote for members of parliament.
But you vote for your MP because you may like the president, so you support the president by giving the MP your vote.
Absolutely.
Does this hurt Justin Trudeau, you think?
Well, the leader of the party and the brand of the party is really important in local elections. I would say that, again, even when you look at that issue, our Prime Minister did politics differently. He gave an opportunity for his colleagues to put their issues on the record. There was a full hearing by the Justice Committee of Parliament, which heard many hours of testimony from all the players that were involved in that issue, and they came to the conclusion that no crime was committed, no illegal actions were taken. If you look at the company in question, despite all that lobbying, despite so much access to people who can try to convince the government of their viewpoints, they're on trial. So as far as I'm concerned, I believe that history will judge the Prime Minister fairly.
All right, and finally, in your personal capacity as MP, confident that you'll get re-elected?
No, I always run as if I'm the underdog. I knock on doors, I'm connected to my community. I believe I have a good record as a member of parliament first and a minister second.
Yes.
I've been very responsive to my community at the doors and to try to work hard to really deliver results for them in the neighborhood. And hopefully communicate that over the next few months. I don't take anything for granted. It's a privilege to serve And I tried the best that I can to be the strongest voice for the people of York Southwestern in Parliament.
Well, all politics is local. Good luck.
Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate
that's Ahmed Hussen, Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship in Canada. He was my guest this week on The Conversation.